Welcome to EnergeticaX Weekly, your curated intelligence briefing across global energy, advanced technologies, AI systems, and geopolitical regulation. This week, the energy landscape moves toward a structured 2026 equilibrium. Thorium leaves the experimental realm. AI becomes intrinsic to heavy industrial systems, and the global power system faces unprecedented pressure from data center growth and supply chain shifts. OPEC Plus approaches final agreement on the 2026 quota framework. Saudi Arabia and Russia reached a preliminary understanding to extend voluntary cuts for another 3 to 6 months, with a gradual return of 2.2 million barrels per day starting in April 2026. This signals OPEC Plus's intention to protect a $72 to $78 stability corridor through early 2026. Fact: the November OPEC Plus meeting confirmed a pause in production growth for January, March, and a controlled plus 137,000 barrels per day in December 2025. Brent reacted immediately, plus 1.8%, $74.8 per barrel. China connects the world's first commercial thorium molten salt reactor. TMSAR LF1, located in Guangdong, has officially delivered energy to the grid, the first ever full thorium to 233 conversion cycle performed on a non-experimental, grid-connected facility. Fact: in November 2025, Sinap confirmed successful fuel conversion. China plans a 100 megawatts demonstration reactor by 2035. China launches thorium-powered supercontainer ship project. Dalian Shipyard initiated development of a next-generation cargo vessel powered by a molten salt thorium reactor capable of 20 to 25 years of continuous operation without refueling. Fact: Jiangnan Shipyard revealed a 14,000 TEU design using a 200 MWth TMSR with a refueling interval exceeding 10 years. India unveils new solar Stirling hybrid architecture. NTPC is evaluating dish Stirling systems combined with high-temperature thermal storage at 450 to 650 degrees Celsius. The concept aims for 6 to 7 cents per kilowatt-hour LCOE, finally making Stirling-based generation competitive with PV battery systems. Fact: according to NTPC, global solar LCOE continues to decline at about 2% annually. United States approves first major HVDC project in 40 years. The Sunzia Wind Transmission Line, 900 kilometers across 7 states, received final approval. It will become the largest HVDC corridor in U.S. history, transmitting New Mexico wind power to California. Fact: the 3 gigawatts line has been under construction since 2023. Commissioning is targeted for 2026. Europe's dependence on U.S. LNG reaches historic highs. Due to Norwegian supply constraints and ongoing platform maintenance, U.S. LNG now accounts for 52% of Europe's LNG imports, trending toward 58% in H1 2025. France and Germany are negotiating long-term contracts through 2040. Fact: by 2026 to 2029, U.S. LNG could supply up to 70% of the EU, driven by restrictions on Russian pipeline gas. Oman deploys next-generation solar-to-steam technology. The country launched a 4th-generation solar steam system delivering superheated steam at 320 to 350 degrees Celsius for heavy oil extraction, reducing gas dependency in EOR operations. Fact: Occidental and GlassPoint signed in Mao to develop 2 GWth of solar steam capacity. The Murrah plant already produces 2,000 plus tons/day. $19 billion in hydrogen projects frozen globally. Bloomberg and EF reports widespread project delays due to high industrial electricity prices and lack of long-term offtake agreements. Blue hydrogen is increasingly prioritized over green. Fact: clean hydrogen demand may reach 16.4 million tons by 2030, but capital deployment slows due to uncertainty. OpenAI releases GPT 5.1 with accelerated reasoning. Key improvements: ×2 reasoning speed, enhanced engineering and physics accuracy, new auto-thinking mode, plus 17% on technical and algorithmic benchmarks. Fact: GPT 5.1 shows plus 17% gains on AIME/Codeforce's benchmarks while running at double the speed of GPT-5. Saudi Aramco invests $250 million into EnergeticaX, a specialized industrial model focused on drilling, corrosion modeling, refinery optimization, fluid dynamics, and pipeline systems, a step toward AI-driven heavy energy operations. Fact: Aramco's MetaBrain is the world's largest industrial LLM. The new investment expands digital twin and R&D workflows. China deploys GridMind, 2 for 500 kV networks. The system reduces failure rates by 38% and shortens diagnostic time by 70% in pilot regions Zhejiang and Sichuan. Fact: Huawei and CSG are implementing AI-based monitoring on 500 kV plus lines with notable reliability gains. Amazon launches generative AI for data center optimization. Energy savings reach 10 to 14% through real-time CFD cooling models and dynamic rack placement algorithms. Fact: AWS reports up to 46% reduction in cooling energy and plus 12% compute density with its AI optimization framework. McKinsey: 60% of LNG megaprojects to be AI managed by 2030. Key drivers: scarcity of engineering talent, rising material costs, and growing project complexity. Fact: global LNG capex exceeds $1 trillion. AI-driven digital twins cut schedule overruns significantly. Bitcoin holds the $104,000 level. Weekly ETF inflows reached $1.6 billion, with hash rate up plus 6%, indicating system resilience during the late-year energy peak. Fact: BlackRock and Fidelity dominate ETF inflows. Ethereum prepares the Pectra upgrade, expected to cut L2 gas fees by 18 to 22%, thanks to EVM's new object format and expanded blob capacity. Fact: blob capacity doubles from 3 to 6 per block. Saudi Arabia develops the Gulf Chain, a cross-GCC digital corridor for registries and logistics aimed at reducing administrative transaction costs by 40%. Fact: Gulf Union intends to link IMEC logistics with blockchain-based documentation platforms. Wall Street Journal: a new U.S. China-Russia arms race emerges. Key focus areas: hypersonic systems, AI-based reconnaissance, and naval nuclear platforms. U.S. defense R&D spending is set to increase by 14% in 2026. EU advances new ESG disclosure rules. From 2027, large companies must report energy intensity of AI models and data centers as part of Scope 3 requirements. UN: data centers now consume 4.7% of global electricity. Demand is rising at 10 to 12% annually, driven by AI, GPU clusters, and cloud infrastructure. Indonesia increases nickel export duty to 12%. The policy is designed to strengthen domestic battery production and metallurgical refinement. This was EnergeticaX Weekly, a structured examination of the forces reshaping global energy, AI, and industrial systems. If you'd like to see deep dive episodes on thorium, AI for energy, HVDC megaprojects, or the emerging hydrogen economics, let us know in the comments. Ex Lumen Veritas.